This video continues from the earlier video on Multichain. In the earlier two videos that I have posted till now, one was peculiar to the introduction on Multichain, and while the other one was peculiar to the installation part. Installation, we had two nodes, node A and node B, and we had installed a blockchain on both the nodes A and B by the name of nuts bolts, and we had granted some permissions, send, receive and create, etc. So we'll continue beyond that, and in this small video again I'll be focusing on what multi-chain data streams are. So multi-chain data streams, as you see on the website here, you can have a more exhaustive overview of what exactly they can do and what exactly they function like, but from just a very small perspective of what multi-chain streams focus on are to enable a blockchain to be used as a general purpose append only database, with blockchain providing timestamping, notarization and immutability. So these are the characteristics that we'll focus on today in this video. So data streams, so while a lot is given here, there are stream filters, there are other functions peculiar to streams, permission, grant of permissions, and then they have got their respective fields, sizes and properties and property values, transaction, etc. So all this we'll just look into it and we'll see it from a practical point of view. So now we come back to the terminal, so node A, node B, and since I have restarted my machines, so I have to again do these commands, multi-chain nuts bolts -daemon, and again on both the nodes which are supposedly connected now. So earlier we had granted node B the permission from node A, and they had their respective addresses. So we'll go into the interactive mode here. So this was the interactive mode, and we just see what was the address. So we have this 1QC address, and again here we'll go into the interactive mode, nuts, bolts, and get addresses. So this was the address here, node A, and this was the address, node B, and we had this peculiar IP addresses here. So this was 192.168.10.19, and this was again 20. So if you are continuing from the earlier video, if you have seen that video, so you will not find it. Okay, I'll have to come out of it, and I have to give the command ifconfig. So now this is 19 and this is 20. So in these two nodes we had subscribed from node B to node A blockchain. We had granted peculiar permissions, connect, send and receive, and then addresses, and we had discussed some permissions. Okay, list permissions. So these were the permissions that were granted. So you see there were two, the address here is 18. So 18 has been granted the permission for connecting, sending and receiving, while no other permissions are there. So rest all the permissions of different things like admin, activate, connect, send, receive, they come by default to the originator node. So that is node A here. So now we'll go further and we'll clean the terminal. We'll clean the terminal here also, and we'll now come to the concept of streams. Now streams, as I had earlier at the start said, it is about appending database. So we have to create a stream and we'll put in some data. For this video particularly, we'll be just creating the streams and we'll be granting permissions to node B so that they get the due permissions to populate data inside the blockchain. So this is going to be a simple exercise. So few commands and we'll be able to play. So now what we have by default is that we have this blockchain nuts and bolts, and it is already running. So now we again go into the interactive mode and we write. Now since we are into the active interactive mode of nuts and bolts, so whatever we do will be peculiar to nuts and bolts. Now whatever data streams that we create will be peculiar to nuts and bolts, and in case we do another blockchain, we create another blockchain, so then it will not be conversant with the other blockchain. So here it is peculiar to nuts and bolts. So we'll say this is the command set create stream data1, and then I will grant some permissions, restrict and this and here, and I grant the permissions on right and here. So this is the complete one line command for creating the stream. So we create stream is the command, data1 is the name of stream, and then we have got this restrict, so I forgot this thing, and now I grant it here. So this data stream will be created, and as I said earlier also, everything whatever is done on the blockchain, everything has got a reference hash. So this is the reference hash here. So if I say list streams, now this is the command, so it will give out like list streams. So this is the stream. Now root is automatically created by default, and here data1 is the stream. So this is the transaction ID 2937D, and this will be absolutely same as what we see here while it was seen, and rest of the things that you see on the screen, these are defaults. So as on here, if we come again here and we say list streams, so immediately I have not done anything, I have not connected thing, because this is the node which is on blockchain. So the moment something happens here, the immediate thing is synchronization. So synchronization happens, and this stream what I created here on node A will be replicated here immediately on node B. But the thing is, will not be able to do anything, will not be able to do any kind of population or amendment or even edit, etc. Anything will not be able to do from node B till we grant node B exclusive permissions from node A. So now here I have created a stream that is data1. So if I say list permissions, so list permissions will give me so many things what I have already here. This is the list streams, then list permissions, what permissions have been granted. So data1 dot star, so data1 is the stream, and I say here, so I get list permissions and I got all these. So this 1QC address belongs to node A. So 1QC, 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 you don't see any address of here. So what is the address here? Get addresses, and we get the address 18D whatever. So this is node B address. So this address is not visible here currently because it has not been granted any kind of permissions here from node B. So sorry, from node A. So now okay, now the root stream is created in the blockchain by default. As I said, this is visible here. This is the root stream. This is created by default. Now on the second server, now till such time we allow node B to know what streams are available, it will not get more details and peculiar details, because this is a kind of private blockchain. So in the private blockchain, each thing has to be exclusively granted. So exactly like node B was subscribing to nuts and bolts, so here it will be subscribing to subscribe data1. So it will now subscribe to data1, and then it will take some time, and now list streams data1. So again, now it is say subscribed true. So this is subscription true. Now what we'll do is we have done this node A, node B. From node A we created a stream which is known as data1. On node B we saw that immediately it was synchronized and it was reflected there. So the node B was able to see that there is some data1 stream which has been created, but it was not able to do anything till such time it was subscribed to. Now it is subscribed to, again it has to be granted peculiar permissions. So we'll go again to node B. Now what is the address here? So okay, now in node A, first of all, before granting the permissions for node B, what we'll do is I'll just shorten this up so that it is visible. Yeah. So now we'll come here, nuts and bolts. So this is the terminal, and we will populate here some data. So now we'll publish this data to the stream, publish data1, and we will the thing is there are keys. Now these all formats that I am typing, these are peculiar formats. So once you get used to them, so here it is key 1. So key 1 is just an index number. It can be anything. So here it can be a number also. It basically references later on for querying data. So now we go here and we simply type some JSON data. So this is JSON format. We go here and we type name, and we say kabali. This is the name, and we then say city, and we say Chennai, and we are done for the sample. So this is the command. Now if I just press enter, and if there is an error, it will not accept, it will give me some error. So let me see if there is an error. No, so there is no error. So this has been published. Now node B will see in some time whether this thing is available or not. So list, okay, here list, we'll just check this command again, list streams. So list streams is just listing out the streams. This we have already seen, root and data 1. So no data is visible currently here. And now here, now the good thing is that node A has created stream data 1. So this is the stream which has been created by node A, but till such time node A also subscribe to this stream, it will not be able to do much of it for granting permissions and for checking on the data, etc. So it has to be subscribing to this subscribe data 1. Again, now what happens is, the moment I say, there will be a reference hash, and just like node B got a unique hash here, so where is it? Okay, so here now it is subscribed, so there is no reference hash that has come up. So the origin node, when it subscribe, it doesn't get a here did it get, will subscribe data 1, no, so it was not, there was no unique hash generated. Okay, so there is no unique hash generated for subscribing. So now we'll see list streams data 1. So here you get something more details about data 1, and here in case I say list streams data 1, what does it say? Again, it is exactly the same thing. Now they both have absolutely the same thing, and it is just a matter of seconds. Of course, all these both the nodes that I am simulating here, they are on a local network, but in a real-time scenario also, when nodes work in Bitcoin, so the syncing basically takes just a matter of seconds and minutes maybe at times. So basically it happens in seconds only. Now what we'll do is, now we had published this data, so now we need to publish data from node B. So we'll go to here again, we'll, instead of typing, I'll cut paste here, copy, and I paste it here. So now what I'll do is, I'll change the name. Now you see, I'll say Baasha, and he belongs to Mumbai. Let this be Mumbai. So again I am giving it key 2. Now let's see what does it say. So it says error, there is some number given -704. This wallet contains no addresses with permissions to write to this stream and global send permission. So there is a laxity of permission here, because node B has not been granted any kind of permission. So we'll come to node A back again, and we'll do the grant permissions. What was the address? So this was the address, grant. This is the address, and now we say send. So there are two permissions basically. One is this send, again and then the other one is data1 dot write. So data1 dot write is data1 is the stream, and then we are granting it the permission to write. So the thing is, streams are very flexible. Say these both the addresses both needs generals and permissions for the blockchain as well as permissions to write to a specific stream. So now we go back to second server, node B, and now we try publishing it here, Baasha and Mumbai. Earlier we got this error. Now ideally it should not. Okay. Now I have not pressed the enter here. So now I have pressed the enter here. I have got a unique hash here about this reference. Now I'll run this command again. So ideally it should happen. So now it has been published and the transaction hash is generated, and it says, of course, there is no error. So we'll move ahead. So now list streams, list stream. Now we'll try to see the data, what happen, the ideas, what the data that we have populated. List stream items data 1. So now you see Baasha Mumbai, kabali Chennai. So this was populated by node A and this was populated by node B. Exactly, we come to node B. So we'll just repeat from here. List items. Okay. Come on, brother. Yeah. And we come here, node A. At times I should have typed only instead of wasting efforts on copy paste. So I'm here. So again we see that I have given the command list stream items data 1. So list stream items is the command and data 1 is the stream that I want to know. So publisher is 1QC. So this is the address of this particular node A, and this node published Kabali and Chennai. That was the first data that we had published. In the second node, when we had published the data, that we had done from node B. Now node B address is 18D WME etc. whatever you see on the screen. So, and we had granted this a unique key 2. This can be any number or it can be any identifier, and rest of the data that comes. So here Baasha and Mumbai is populated. Now the problem here is now that whenever node A publishes some data to the blockchain, whenever node B publishes some data to the blockchain, nuts and bolts, then immediately both are able to see the data, which may not be the criteria which is required in a typical private blockchain, wherein each and every node can see data amongst each other. So there has to be some kind of arrangement wherein this data is just not visible to each other. So there has to be again restriction of permissions. So one thing is subscribe and one thing is granting of permissions exclusive to write and read etc. The other thing is that even when we do this, we have to have some arrangement wherein not each and every data, not each and every stream which is published on the blockchain should not be visible to another node C, D, E, F. So there has to be limitation. There will be scenarios wherein there will be requirements of peculiar data visibility only. So that will be taken care by filters, stream filters, that we'll take on in the next video. For this video, so we end up here only. So we had node B, node A. We created a stream which is known as data 1, and we subscribed from node B. We subscribed node A with data 1. Thereafter we populated one set of data from node A and one set of data from node B, and both the things were published onto the blockchain, and we have seen the results here. So this I conclude here only. So meanwhile there are few other commands. Before I conclude, I forgot. So list, this we have already done. List items stream. Okay, now there are list stream keys data 1. So there are two keys that we have used, key 1, key 2. So any blockchain node who has subscribed to this. So again, in case we give this command out here and just paste it here, so we get the same thing, key 1 and key 2. So more or less till such time both the nodes are subscribed to each other, subscribed to the peculiar stream, so they'll be able to see the data in exactly the same manner. Now 2 will have another key. Now there can be other ways of finding out data. So list stream keys, this we have done, and now list stream key items, data 1, key 1. Now this is peculiar to key. Now in case somebody wants to query the data of void which key has been referenced with what data, so now key 1 is referenced with this data. So in case we do it here and we do it for key 2, what should we get? Baasha and Mumbai. So similarly here node B we come here, and again this is Kabali and Chennai. So you see what we are doing. And in case we also want to know the publishers, so list stream publishers data 1. So who all are the publishers for data 1 who can write to the blockchain stream data 1? So there are 2 publishers, and these publishers basically are referred by their respective addresses. So this belongs to node A and this belongs to node B. So herewith I end up here. So in the next video we'll see about enterprise streams, another very important function which is about populating binary cache, creating binary cache and then publishing it to blockchain. And then in the next further videos what I intend is we'll encrypt the data, we'll populate amongst on the blockchain, and then we'll access it from the other node and we'll decrypt and then access the data. So for now I end up this video here. Thank you very much.